Good morning to all the dignitaries, guests, faculties, and attendees. With great joy and immense exultation, we feel privileged to extend a courteous welcome on behalf of Vivekananda School of Engineering and Technology and Vivekananda School of Information and Technology, who has clubbed us all here for an enlightening national conclave on transforming education sector with innovation and entrepreneurship. I would now take this opportunity to introduce our esteemed panel, our honorable founder and chairman, Sir Dr. S.C. Watt, sir, who is an educationalist and a great philanthropist. Our Board of Management, our Honorable Director General, Sir Dr. Ashwini Kumar Sharma, sir, our chairpersons, Principal Ma'am, Professor Anuradha Jain Ma'am, Director BTech Programs, Professor Dr. Goldie Gabrani Ma'am. Then we have the deans from various departments, the HODs, and faculty and staff members. It's an honor for Vivekananda School of Engineering and Technology and Vivekananda School of Information and Technology to have with us the esteemed panel, which includes Shri Uday Raghunath Birji ji, who is a co-founder of Think Street Technologies and who will be sharing with us his knowledge on entrepreneurship in the digital economy, developing the startup ecosystems for WIPS TC. We also have with us Shri Madhav Bisaji, Program Director, NASSCOM Center of Excellence, Artificial Intelligence and Data Sciences, who will be sharing with us his knowledge on innovation and artificial intelligence. We also have with us Shri Ashish Khareji, who is a founder and CEO of MentorCard, and he'll be sharing his knowledge on Startup India, and he'll be presenting a case study on skills for new India. It's a privilege for us to have with us today Professor S. Sadagopanji, Founding Director, IIIT Bangalore, who will be joining with us really soon in the online mode because of his busy schedule. And I think we should have a round of applause for all the esteemed guests and the dignitaries we have with us today. Now, I will invite all the dignitaries for lighting of the lamp. Can we have all the dignitaries on the stage, please? Every auspicious task begins after lighting of the lamp. Lighting is a symbol of divinity, prosperity, hope, and knowledge. Lighting the lamp is regarded as the bow down to knowledge. Therefore, we have to take the blessings of the Almighty. I thank all the dignitaries on behalf of the Vivekananda School of Engineering and Technology and Vivekananda School of Information and Technology for the beautiful start of this technical event. With this, we start with the felicitation of the eminent guest, and for this, I invite Professor Goldie Gbrani Ma'am, Director, Vivekananda School of Information and Technology, to felicitate Shri Uday Birji ji. Professor Goldie Gbrani Ma'am is an alumnus of Delhi College of Engineering. She has a rich experience of over 30 years in the area of higher education and has mentored many in renowned educational institutions. Thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am. Now I invite Professor Supriya Madan Ma'am, Dean, Vivekananda School of Information and Technology, to felicitate Sri Madhav Bisa ji with a bouquet. Professor Supriya Madan Ma'am has a versatile experience and is an erudite scholar in her own right. Her association with the field of information technology is a testimony of her fruitful and ongoing journey. Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, sir. Now we have Professor Dipali Virmani ma'am, HOD, Vivekananda School of Engineering and Technology, to felicitate Ashish Khare ji, but I'll be inviting her a little later as Ashish Khare ji has not yet arrived. Now we have with us Honorable Founder and Chairman Sir, WIPS TC, Dr. S.C. Vatt sir, to present a memento to Shri Uday Birji ji. Shri S.C. Vatt sir is an educationalist, a physician, and a great philanthropist. He has an initiated disciple of Ramakrishna order, and he tries to practice the precepts as preached by Swami Vivekananda to serve God in man. He has chaired governing body of half a Delhi College universities with distinction. He is the chairperson of governing body of Keshav Mahavidyalaya. He is a modernist, and yet he stands by his values even today. Thank you so much, sir, and thank you, Uday Raghunath ji, sir. Now I request Honorable Founder and Chairman Sir, Dr. S.C. Vatt sir, to present the memento to Sri Madhav Bisa ji, sir. Now I will invite Professor Goldie Gbrani ma'am for the welcome address.
Hello. A very delightful morning to all. On behalf of WIPS School of Engineering and Technology, I extend my heartfelt thanks to our distinguished guest, Professor Sadkopan ji, Founding Director, IIIT Bangalore, Mr. Uday Birji ji, Co-founder and Director, Think Street Technologies, Mr. Madhav Bisa ji, Program Director, Data Science and AI, NASCOM, Ashish Khare ji, Founder and CEO, MentorCart, for organizing a national conclave on transforming education sector through innovation and entrepreneurship at WIPS Technical Campus. My deepest gratitude to Dr. S.A. Vatt ji, Honorable Chairman, WIPS Technical Campus, for always motivating us to organize such events, Vice Chairman Shri Suneet Vatt ji, Vice Chairman Shri Vineet Vatt ji, Vice Chairman Shri Ajay Bindal ji, Director General Dr. Ashwini Sharma, Principal, Professor Anuradha, chairpersons, deans, faculty, staff members, and my dear students. WIPS, as a premier educational institute of India, was founded by our Honorable Chairman, Dr. S.C. Vats, about 22 years ago. WIPS curates a repository of knowledge for all stakeholders working in various domains of the society. Last year, our Honorable Chairman decided to foray into engineering education with an aim to achieve excellence in the field of technical education by introducing BTech undergraduate programs in 4 streams, namely computer science and engineering, artificial intelligence, data science, machine learning, and industrial IoT. Being an institute of immense repute, we have always tried to contribute in national priority area of entrepreneurship development and improve economic development activities. To assist in this endeavor, we at WIP School of Engineering and Technology have established a center for ideas and innovations to entrepreneurship, which we fondly refer to as I2E for the budding entrepreneurs, startups, students, and freelancers. This center aims at developing the spirit of innovation and entrepreneurship amongst the students and faculty of WIPS. It not only ignites the minds but also nurtures the ideas of students. We are committed to build a strong platform for budding entrepreneurs as a career, as a path to success, and as a journey of wisdom. We wish our students to be the cradle of innovators, startups, and contribute to various national programs such as Digital India, Make in India, Startup India, Atmanirbhar India. For students sitting here, I would like to very briefly introduce you to some very basic terminologies like what is invention? We discussed this yesterday also. Invention has to do with the creation of a new product, process, service, application, etc., which may or may not translate into solving an apparent or potential problem. Secondly, what do you understand by the term innovation? It is the outcome of new thinking, thinking out of the box. Thirdly, what is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is the process of translating the invention or innovation to a business opportunity. Winning in business today demands innovation. Invention is really, really difficult, but innovating, yes, it is possible. For which you have to be observant about what is happening around you, what are the challenges the society is facing, and you have to be passionate enough to strive to find a solution. Today, entrepreneurs must create new products, new services. They have to be innovative if they wish to compete successfully. Innovation and entrepreneurship go hand in hand and are indispensable to each other. Lastly, I would like to tell you the minute difference between a startup and an entrepreneurship. For example, if someone opens a restaurant in a suburb, it is a startup. Surely he has taken a risk, but what he is doing has been done many times before. He creates neither a new satisfaction nor meets new consumer demand. On the other hand, Starbucks is an example of entrepreneurship. It did not invent anything new. As we all know, that coffee was being sold by large number of companies for a long time, but Starbucks innovated at various levels in its management methods, product standardization, and also in services where it formulated new standards, created new markets and new customers. This is entrepreneurship. Further, innovation does not necessarily have to be technical. Giving exchange offer, pay-per-use scheme is highly innovative, though not technical. Nor the outcomes of innovations are always guaranteed. Some innovation that look very big may turn out to be nothing but technical brilliance. On the other hand, some innovation with modest intellectual values, McDonald's for instance, may turn out to be enormously high profitable business. Our own Karsan Bhai Patel did not invent detergent. Instead, his innovation in distribution, money back guarantee, and appealing price point is what translated into Nirma, where an Indian entrepreneur took on the MNCs and rewrote the rules of the business. A traditional halwai shop morphed into Haldiram. It is a story of innovation into packaging and offering the quality product with extensive availability through penetrative distribution. On the other hand, Prem Ganpati, the man who patented a number of varieties of dosa and has more than 100 varieties on his menu. Not only innovated in the form of bringing a new range of dosas, but also in leveraging the expertise by opening a number of franchises of his dosa plaza in many parts of the world. Some of the technology companies that have triggered a paradigm shift by impacting industries through innovation that you all are familiar with are Apple, that changed music and consumer electronics; Airbnb changed the accommodation industry; Amazon changed the retailing industry; Google changed the advertising world with the AdWords; Facebook established the social network; WhatsApp established the personal communication network; Steam established the online market for licensed games. There are companies like Snapchat who are making something old to something new to create a winning product. Snapchat added social element to photo sharing, added ways to edit the pictures to make them funnier and much more attractive. What is important to understand is that the innovation need not be magnificent. In fact, in order to be effective, it must be simple and focused on addressing specific need. We at Vivekanand School of Engineering and Technology aim to build a robust talent pool for emerging areas by empowering our students and faculty with innovative skills. We encourage them with knowledge and skills to create high potential startups, thereby leading to high value job creation. The focus is to support early stage entrepreneurs and maximize their success rate. The whole idea behind organizing this national conclave is to bring together the creative experts and let various innovative ideas work in tandem with higher order of synergy. This is to help our students and faculty to further elevate the level of their innovation and entrepreneurial acumen. Through this national conclave, we wish to help startup ideas establish a hyper growth path for providing personalized mentoring by industry leaders. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your inspiring words and creating a spark in the students for the upcoming sessions by the eminent guest. Now, I feel privileged to invite Shri Uday Raghunath Birji ji, co-founder and director, Think Street Technologies, to share his knowledge with us. He has over 30 years experience in IT, telecom, and network industry. He has wide experience in dealing with IPOs, mergers, and acquisitions for Asia Pacific region. He has been involved with many initiatives of Government of Karnataka as an advisor, including New Age Incubation Network, Elevate 100, and Unnati since 2017, a first of its kind initiative set up to identify, fund, and mentor top 100 startups in the state. He is also a mentor and jury of India Innovation Challenge, an initiative of Texas Instruments, Government of India, and IIM Bangalore since 2017. He has been involved with Pan IIT Global Conference and the Pan IIM World Management Conference to evaluate India's top startups. He was a part of Smart 50 initiative of IIM Calcutta and Bangalathon Startup Challenge initiatives of the Government of West Bengal. He is also a mentor for change under the Atal Innovation Mission of Niti Aayog, Government of India, and has been involved with various other startup initiatives of government and private institutions across India. He is an alumnus of Harvard Business School, where he has completed his executive education with specialization in authentic leadership and corporate governance, and he holds a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering from Bangalore University. He began his career in HCL and later moved to Digital Equipment Corporation, the world's second largest computer company, in 1992 in Bangalore. In 2014, he set up Think Street Technologies, a startup to develop go-to-market strategies and startup ecosystems across the globe. And I feel privileged that he is a part of the session, the conclave that we have with us today. Can we have a huge round of applause for Shri Uday Raghunath Birji ji? And you can connect with him on LinkedIn to solve your doubts. Thank you.
Happy morning. Thank you for such a lengthy introduction. There is a small change. My presentation is after Chairman Sir's inspiration. I am hoping that he will come and inspire all of us. And then we have Professor Sadgopan who will come in at 12:10, and then my session is at the end. I think there was a change in the agenda. So, ma'am, I think you kindly invite Chairman Sir, and then by the time Professor Sadgopan Sir will be ready.
I'm really sorry that we should start with the inaugural address by our founder, Chairman Sir. So before starting with the technical session, we should take the blessings of the Chairman Sir. So I request him from the bottom of my heart to kindly bless us all with the inaugural address. Thank you so much, sir, and I'm really sorry on behalf of IPS TC. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Is that good morning or good afternoon? It's not yet noon, it's good morning. Thank you. So I extend a very hearty welcome to Mr. Uday Birje from Think Street. The name itself is very innovative. Mr. Madhav Bisa, who is the Director Innovation and very many things that I saw that he has got the power of artificial intelligence. As I always start with the hymns from the scriptures, so I start with Sahena Bhavatu, Saheno Bhunatu, Sahviryam Karvavahe, Tejasvinavadit Mastu, Ma Vidusha Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kasyud dughbha bhavet. Vakatandu mahakaya surya koti samaprabha nirvignam kurve deva sarva karyesu sarvada. Yastu sarvani bhutani atmani unapashyati sarvbhutechu atmanam tato na visgupsate. यस्मिन् सर्वाणि भूतानि आत्मोन्भूत विजानतः तत्र को मोह को शोक एकत्वम् अनुपश्यते. So what I talked in Sanskrit, I can translate it to Hindi because many of you are English men and women by birth, aren't you? You're born English, you are born British, except that you don't have white skin. You have brown or black skin. Most of you are born British, talk English, you don't understand your mother language, mother tongue. It's fashionable to speak in English. As you all know that I have been an ardent disciple of the Ramakrishna order. And today I invoke Swamiji's blessings who says, Utishtata, Jagrata, Prapya Varani Bodhata. Arise, awaken, stop not, till the goal is reached. So we are embarking on a technological mission that we don't need to pause till we have reached the goal. And the goal is to be thinker, innovators, and for that, there are two powerful triggers here. Uday and Professor Madhav, I'll call him professor because they are professor of practice as per the UGC norms. Professor Uday Birje and Professor Uday Bisa, Madhav Bisa. I've been an ardent disciple of Ramakrishna Mission, and I'm an initiated disciple of Swami Bhuteshanand Maharaj, who was the president of the Ramakrishna Mission. What makes me speak here as an odd man, I don't know of anything about IT, except what Professor Sadgopan told me, it's not an information technology, it's India tomorrow. So it's India of tomorrow. It's not the information technology. He says it's India of tomorrow. So tomorrow's India has to be always updated with brilliant minds, sharp intellect, thinking minds, and there's a whole lot of thinking straight here. There's a long way to go. Well, as I told you that I'm an ardent disciple of the Ramakrishna mission, I came across one of the anecdotes. I'll share with you one of the anecdotes that one physician like me approached the then President Bharat Maharaj and he said, I want to join the Ramakrishna mission. So Swamiji asked him, what are you by profession? He said, I'm a physician by profession, I'm a doctor. I've done my MBBS and my MD in medicine. So Swamiji said, you are not fit for this mission because your whole vision is going to be limited to human anatomy and physiology. So you cannot think beyond the physics. You can't think of a world called metaphysics. So a whole lot of thought is limited to human anatomy and physiology. And you cannot think beyond that, and we are people who are more metaphysical, who are beyond human physiology and anatomy. So Nag Mahashaya, his name was, thereafter he became Nag Mahashaya, when he told the simple logic, I am a doctor who is full of compassion. And a heart full of compassion doesn't take time to understand the pains and miseries of others. I've got a more sensitive heart. I have a very impressionable mind. And I'm somebody who is going to grasp your preachings and teachings and your discourse letter by letter. I can repeat that. And when he recited a few verses, Swamiji was thoroughly impressed that in spite of his training in human anatomy and physiology, this man can understand metaphysics also. So what I told, yastu sarvani bhutani atmani manapashyati, a man who sees him, H capital, in all beings, living and non-living, who has envisioned him, who has seen him, who sees him always. Yastu sarvani bhutani atmani manapashyati sarvbhutishu atmanam totona visgupsate. He never gets misled. He is very clear in understanding of human sentiments. And then he says, Yastu sarvani bhutani atmanahut vijanata. The word vijanata is used in terms of being a scientist. He is the scientist. Vijanata is the substitute for being the knower of all. And he knows the science of the living and the non-living. And he goes beyond the pairs of opposite, the pain and the sorrow, and is in a constant state of bliss. Yastu sarvani bhutani atmani anapashyati sarvbhutishu atmanam tato visgupsate. Yasmin sthani bhutani atmano bhut vijanata tatra ko moha ko shoka ekattam anapashyate. When I met Professor Sadgopan in 2004, I said, sir, I want to say you charan sparsh, not sadha pranam. Sadha pranam is very usual. Normally, in normal parlance, we say sadha pranam. Why use the word charan sparsh? I want to touch your feet. I'm 77 plus now. I've entered the 78th year. But what keeps me alive all the time is the science of keeping in touch with the live wire. As I told Professor Sadgopan, that I feel like saying Chanspers to you, because I am Ayu Vriddha and you are Jnana Vriddha. You are rich in knowledge. I may have put in number of years, but you have put in number of years in the science of knowledge. So your biggest respect, veneration and regard for a man who is a man of knowledge, who is the repository of knowledge, and who has the capacity to ignite a spark which can engulf your whole being and put you afire. That is the power of a teacher, in any form you are. So Nag Mahashaya reached a state of where his mind became very intuitive. Because we tell there's no need for, I could never imagine that there could be something called, when you've got basic intelligence, why do you need artificial intelligence? Isn't human intelligence enough that you need to bring in artificial intelligence to add on to whatever basic intelligence you are born with? So intelligence creates artificial intelligence to simulate some of the human activities and to substitute and replace, perhaps, some of the things that you may manually do. So you require both intelligence and artificial intelligence. And for that you need brilliant minds like Madhav and Professor Uday Birje. They come here to ignite that initial spark in you. You are brilliant minds, but you know not the power of the mind. Your mind needs to be meditative. It should first become contemplative, then meditative, and then intuitive minds. We need intuitive minds. Newton must have seen 1,000 times an apple falling down on the ground. But it occurs to him once in 1,000,000 times as to why the apple should not go up and why does it come down. So the whole law of gravitation came from intuition. You need to become intuitive minds. Simple minds are of no use. Contemplation, meditation, intuition. And then will come it will reveal to you the whole world of science, the whole world of physics and metaphysics. So always try and remain in touch with the live wire. Never lose contact, because the moment I lost contact with the live wire, I became a physician out of form. If you want to stay in form, today Think Street has a lot of relevance. Today your artificial intelligence has a lot of Tomorrow, when Mr. Madhav Vista becomes out of form, oh, such and such person is out of form, no, he is no more in that form. So what is that puts a sports person or a technocrat or a physician the best of his form? He stays in form till the time he or she remains in touch with remains in constant touch with the live wire. There has to be a continuous flow of energy. And for that you need to entertain that. You need to create grounds for entertaining the best of thoughts, cultivating those thoughts. Because when you culture the bacteria, you need to have a medium. And if you want to be a good receptionist of good thoughts, you will have to remain in touch with the live wire. I extend to Mr. Uday Birje I call him Professor Uday Birje because now Professor of Practice is recognized by the University Grant Commission and Professor Madhav Bissau. A very hearty welcome on behalf of 7,000 plus students and 350 faculty members. I am overwhelmed by your kindness and by your generosity to come and share your brilliant ideas with our budding engineers and technocrats. By now you are known a small little thing about IT and computer sciences. But you want to travel beyond that. You need their patronage, guidance, and enlightenment. So with these words, I extend to them a very hearty welcome and thank you so much. We express on behalf of the management a very hearty welcome and sense of gratitude to both of you for having to come here and benefit these young technocrats. Thank you very much.
I extend my gratitude to Honorable Founder and Chairman Sir, Dr. S.C. Watt Sir, for encouraging us all to get connected with the soul. Why? Because connecting with the soul will help us to have the intuitive minds, which will help us to take the decisions more carefully. Now, before starting with Uday Birji ji, we will call upon his mentor, his guru, Professor S. Sadagopan ji, who is the founding director of IIT Bangalore. He will be joining in the online mode because of his busy schedule. Professor S. Sadagopan ji will be sharing his knowledge on startup and innovation for New India. Professor S. Sadagopan ji is currently the Director President of IIT Bangalore. He obtained his MS and PhD degree from Purdue University, United States of America, and Bachelor of Engineering Honors degree from Madras University. He had taught at IIT Kanpur and IIM Bangalore. His research interest includes operations research, multi-criteria optimization, simulation, and enterprise computing. His research work has appeared in several international journals, including IIIT Transactions, European Journal of Operational Research, and many others. He has won numerous awards that include Fulbright Fellowship, Champion of Humanity Award of Hindustan Chamber of Commerce, to name a few. He is a featured columnist for Times of India, the world's largest English newspaper, and several magazines, and we feel privileged to have him here. Good morning, sir. I extend a heartiest welcome to you on behalf of Vivekananda School of Engineering Technology and Vivekananda School of Information Technology. And we feel privileged to have you with us today. Thank you so much, sir, for sparing your time from your busy schedule.
Thank you, Namaskar. Good morning. Dr. Vats, good morning.
Good morning.
Uday, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir. Dr. Vats, good afternoon. I'm able to see you. Yes.
Good morning, and I already said to you because I told.
Good morning, Dr. Vats.
Good morning, sir. I already said transfers to you because I can be older than you in age, but you're far more learned than me in so many respects. So I feel like not saying Sada Pranam to you, but to transfers to you. So I touch your feet in reverence. You're a true repository of knowledge, so I salute you that. Thank you, sir. Sada Pranam to you.
Thank you. Uday, can you have my slides?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Uday Vijay?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Good morning.
1 minute.
Yeah, he's coming. Okay, close that area. That door, please. No, you sit there. Good afternoon, Uday.
Yes, sir.
Do I start?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Uday, do I start?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir. Please go ahead, sir. We are ready.
Thank you. Okay, good afternoon. Special pranam to Dr. Vats, my long time friend. And it is always nice to be at WIPS, Vivekananda Institute of Professional Studies, an amazing organization and very creative organization. And I am glad that you are taking care of this national conclave. And my good friend Uday Vijay who has kind of invited me. So thank you, Uday. And you have some amazing set of speakers over the 3 days. And most important, you have some amazing set of students who are assembled. And I have seen WIPS growing. And then Sunit Vats, the young tuck, who is also kind of joining his father to make this institution an outstanding institution. I am sure it will soon be a university. So what I will do today is to spend about 15-20 minutes on what I call 4 strands of thought. I will spend about 5 minutes on each one of them. And the target audience being academics and students. So I'm essentially taking the view of the students. And as the title goes, transforming the education sector with innovation and entrepreneurship. So my emphasis will be on innovation and entrepreneurship. And sometimes it is nice to have some stories. So I will weave some stories around it. Okay, so thank you. The next slide, please. Let me start with my first request to all of you, particularly the students. And what is that has changed? You know, I was a student just about 50 years back, and the 60s and 70s and 80s, we Indians, we all went abroad. And, so we are proud of what we did. At the same time, what we did was actually serving the global corporation and global universities. We all went for masters and PhDs. And some of us joined universities, some of us joined corporations. But we were busy solving the global problems. Okay? So busy solving the global problems. And obviously working for global organization. From 90s, when TCS started the software outsourcing, so we actually were doing interesting things. We continue to solve global problems, sometimes sitting abroad, sometimes sitting in Bangalore and Hyderabad and Delhi and Mumbai and Gurgaon and Noida. Okay? But we continue to work for global corporations and universities. Even when we are working for Indian companies like TCS or Wipro or Infosys, the chances are they in turn were working for a global company like Citibank or Deutsche Bank and things like that. So we were still solving global problems for global organizations, sometimes sitting in India. I think only in the last 12 years, we are seeing some interesting stuff. And that is what makes me get excited. That is the reason why we are all spending time with you, particularly the students. Indians are solving India's problems. Indians are solving India's problem. I'll give you one example before I get on to the next topic. Some of you would know there is a site called Travel Khana. Travel Khana just kind of did some little work. This is about 10 years back they started. They found that the number of people who are traveling overnight in trains in India would be more than the population of many countries. So there are some 30,000 trains with pairs of trains which go, and they actually take a time of more than 10 hours. That means people will have to eat something, maybe lunch, maybe dinner, maybe breakfast and lunch, etc. And what they would like to have is a breakfast or a lunch or dinner delivered to them, if possible, what we call in Kannada as busy or hot, right? So, and it can be served, and they would like to get their breakfast or lunch at the breakfast or the lunch time, whether the train is running late or not. Just because the trains are running late, your breakfast cannot wait for 3 hours, right? You still need breakfast at 8 o'clock, whether it is in Jhansi station or Bhopal station, right? So this is something which they created through a portal, and of course Travel Kana has changed, etc. But now you can see that this idea has been copied by many people, many airlines do that. So you can actually have a South Indian meal delivered in a North India or a North Indian meal delivered in South India, subject to overall construction, okay? But what is really good about this is we Indians solving India's problems. Okay, so that is something which I want to know. And you might say that, look, sir, if we solve India's problem, will we actually be able to get dollars? Will we be able to big enough, etc., etc.? My next slide will address some of it. The next slide, please. Please get me the next slide. Yeah. So the second idea which I want you to kind of, particularly for students, and some of the most successful startups in the planet originated in universities. And you, the MIP students, so people who were like you when they were studying, some of them completed the study, some of them did not even complete the study because they were so fired up with their ideas, they went ahead and started. And you know, in IIIT Bangalore about 5 years back, I actually, on the day of the orientation day, when all the new students and parents were there, I actually went up and kind of invited them, welcomed them, and also told the parents particularly that the students of IIITB will graduate with the following degrees: BTech, MTech, PhD, and then I passed. Then even my colleagues were wondering, what is the next degree? I said, look, there is one more degree where you can graduate with. It is called dropout. You can even drop out. And you will see some of them have dropped out, some of the big names, etc. Let me spend a few minutes on them. You know what, you all must have heard of the word Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley started with a company called HP. HP stands for Hewlett and Packard, two founders. They happen to be the student of Professor Fred Terman. Go and discover about Terman, an amazing person, Stanford University prof. So 1938 was the birth of HP inside a university. Shift the gears by a few more decades. Bill Gates, many of you know, the founder of the Microsoft, and for many, many years, he was the #1 richest person in the whole planet. In 1975, as a student from Harvard, he dropped out and started Microsoft. The origin of Microsoft is in a university called Harvard. Then this is more interesting for many of you, particularly you, the Indian students, particularly you are in Delhi, Kanpur area. You know, Larry Page and Sergey Brin were the students of Professor Rajiv Motwani, okay, at Stanford University. Once again, a big company like Google had its origins at Stanford University. This is especially interesting for me because I had the privilege of knowing Rajiv Motwani as a BTech student at IIT Kanpur. So how nice it is, you know, somebody who was a student and whose students created the company, and all of you day in and day out, Google has become a verb today, right? You Google everything, okay? So, and they happen to be the students of Rajiv Motwani. And you all do Facebook, Instagram, etc. Facebook again started at another university called Harvard University. The founder, Mark Zuckerberg, was a student. Like Bill Gates, he also dropped out. And you might say that, look, sir, you are giving American example. How about Indian example? There are 3 examples, it's important. And because you are all sitting in Delhi, and right in Delhi, not very far from the place where you are sitting, IIT Delhi is little more, it's about 30-40 kilometers away from IIT Delhi, but not very far. Right in IIT Delhi, Sachin Bansal and Binny Bansal started Flipkart 2007. Again, origin of a successful startup right in the university campus. Of course, they did graduate. And my bragging point, our own student at IIIT Bangalore, Kadim Bhatti, he was the very first batch of IIIT student. He joined in 1999 and graduated in 2001. He was in multiple places and finally started an amazing company called WhatFix. WhatFix is a little bit of a pun on WhatsApp, right? So WhatFix will become as popular as WhatsApp. That is what they hope. And for those of you in the audience, I think it is again a bragging point. They are close to be a unicorn. So a couple of months from now, they will be a unicorn. Unicorn is a company whose market value crosses $1 billion. They already have more than 500 customers and more than 1,000 employees today. Okay? Again, coming out of a success university. And just last week, you all saw there was amazing stuff called Praram. It is a new beginning. A private sector getting into space, a startup getting into space. Pawan Kumar and Bharat were students at IIT Kharagpur, and they graduated about 10 years back. They were employees of ISRO. They worked for ISRO, quit ISRO, started the startup, and their rocket engine fired 3 satellites. In 3 minutes, it reached a speed of 5 Mach. That means 5 times the speed of sound of light, speed of sound. And after 3 minutes launching, it kind of went back to the sea as planned in the 5th minute. Okay, so amazing. You know, we generally use a term. You know, it is no rocket science. Okay, it is rocket science. Could also be done by students. And we are not talking of students in America. We are talking of students right in our own country. And what a great time to be. Okay. So I think this is something which I want you to imbibe. I want VIP students, maybe after a few years when I give a talk like this, I want one line from VIP students and VIP's alumni. Okay. So the message is some of the most successful startups in the planet have their roots in universities. The next slide, please. Okay. So the next 2 slides, I just want you to kind of also realize, you might say that, look, sir, you are talking of many things that these days everybody talks of AI. We are all registered for AI and data science course, AI and machine language course. What is the future for us, etc., etc. So next 5 minutes, I will spend some time. Okay. I think what is important for you to realize is, on one hand, AI ML is not new because, okay, you might think that, look, everybody talks of it is brand new. Okay, it is in some sense old wine in new bottle, but I will tell you why it is so successful now. At a very broad level, what I want you to realize is that what we are seeing is a very early beginning of something that is emerging. What it is going to be called, even I don't know, and I would take the liberty of telling most people in this planet do not know. Probably no one knows. This is going to take some time. So let me kind of take you back in time. Just look at about 300 years back. Something happened in United Kingdom. Many of you would have heard of a steam engine. We normally associate a name called James Watt, right? Is associated with the steam engine. Then you go east from United Kingdom, a country called Germany. So there was a person by name Diesel who created something. Nowadays we use the term diesel for a fuel, but actually it happens to be the name of a person. He created what is called an internal combustion engine. If some of you have a mechanical engineering background, you would realize that steam engine is called an external combustion engine, and a diesel engine is called an internal combustion engine. Then you go west several thousands of miles to the United States, and there is a town which is now called Edison. At that time it was not called Edison. And a person called Thomas Edison, created something called electricity. So electricity diesel engine and a steam engine put together created over the last 300 years many, many things, right? They changed the kitchen. They changed transportation. They created new suburbs, But for the car, we can't be living the way we live in Bangalore, right? And then rocket engines. And then we also have very interesting stuff. Inside the heart, there is something called pacemaker. Okay. All these things are powered by what are generally called engines, depending on the context. Sometimes they become a motor, they sometimes become a pump. You pump water, you pump oil. So lot many things you pump, right? So essentially, they created what is now known as engineering. We have a professional, many of us associate ourselves, we call ourselves an engineer, right? Engineering as a profession, engineer as a professional happened because of these three things in so many forms. We call it amplification of brawn power. Brawn power means muscle power. What AI and ML amplify is amplify brain power. So whatever happened to the amplification of brain power will happen to the amplification of brain power. That is what is so interesting. That is the reason why people who are in AI ML, you guys are lucky because you are starting something. Remember, Edison, Diesel and Watt would not have been able to predict everything that has happened in the last 300 years. Similarly, none of us know exactly how things are going to happen. And just for fun, I will tell you, being an old man around, I think this is something which we all have witnessed. So something which you youngsters will find it very amusing. Artificial intelligence had what is called spring in 50s and winter in 60s. Spring in English language means growth. Winter means winding down. So AI was winding down in 60s simply because in 60s we did not have the huge compute power. We did not have a device like this which also has a lot of compute power. We did not have connectivity. So there was no data. Because there was no large enough interesting data, we could not do. In fact, you will be surprised that many of the AI ML algorithms that we use today were actually done in 60s, 50s. So those algorithms are coming back. So I think we put it in a very interesting way. There is something called nature and nurture. See, for a plant to grow, you need a great seed. That is what we call nature. But a great seed does not guarantee a great plant. You need soil, you need moisture, you need water, you need fertilizer, you need sunlight, and all these things given right proportion. If you put too much water, it gets washed out. If you have too much sunlight, it gets scorched, right? You need these things, okay? So the core algorithms are part of the nature. So in that sense, many of them were done in 50s and 60s. But the data is actually the nurture. It's not only the data, availability of data. Data must be available at any time. Data must be available on this machine. When I am doing a visualization, the visualization power must be available and a significant amount of data should come. So the coming together of the compute power and the algorithmic power and the data together makes AI/ML so interesting today. And that is the reason why, okay, so all that I would say is you are lucky and count your blessings and go. And before I stop, let me have my last slide. Because particularly students keep asking me, so I thought that, okay. So sometimes you get confused because too many names get thrown. So I thought that I will tell you. See, there is something called, in business schools, they use a term called value chain. You have a grain, which is kind of agriculture fellows work hard and make it. But out of the grain, you make something and then make it, polish it, and then process it, then food processing. You have milk. Milk is at one level. Then you actually take the milk, and there are fellows who actually make very sophisticated stuff called ice cream. So 1 kilogram of milk is sold at one level, but 1 kilogram of ice cream is sold 100 times higher, because that is what is called the value addition. So what happens is there is a value chain and all of them are important. Milk is important, ice cream is important. Without milk, you cannot have ice cream. But ice cream fellows, you can make much more money than selling milk. So you need all. So what happens is nowadays you have what is called the Internet of Things, what you call IoT. What it means is these are all devices which constantly generate data and also pump it out over the internet to some server. It could be, in Delhi there are so many cameras, right? You get a challan from the traffic fellows. How do they get it? Because these cameras capture that you are crossing a red light and put it in a server. There is an algorithm on the server. It actually finds out it has a connection to you, your phone number. So you get a message that you have been given a charge. Okay. And then you have rain gauges, you have satellites, you have phones, you have computers, you have, and as we go, everything will become an IoT. Your computer is an IoT, your microphone can become an IoT, the light can become an IoT. So, and lots of data get pumped out. So there is certain amount of body of knowledge which has to do with the devices, instruments, measurement, etc. This is IoT. Then you have lots and lots of data. So what do you do with the big data? So there are lots of techniques. So managing the lost data is the database part of it, then retrieval part of it, search part of it. Then people realize the value is not in data alone. Value is in analytics. You have something called, I have a glass of water, man. You have something called Big Basket, right? So Big Basket actually has lots of data and they actually figure out on a dynamic basis, a particular mohalla, some item is moving much faster. And that is the kind of analytics. And many of you would know statistics is generally associated with analytics. Many of us belong to a profession called operations research that used to be called analytics. And many of you would know, at least some of you who are the senior students who would have done a course in statistics, you would know that you form a hypothesis, you use the data, test out the hypothesis. But what happens today in the big data world, you don't even have time to form the hypothesis. You want the machines to even form the hypothesis. That is where you have the AI. You would have seen that you give a million pictures and then the machine using simple algorithms identifies and breaks them into 6 or 7. And then one you put a human being, they will say this is a dog, this is a monkey, okay, this is called tagging. Okay, so you put some association. But what happens is this kind of breaking these million pictures into 6 or 7 of them is actually done by machines with no hypothesis. That is why you need what is called machine learning, sometimes we call it deep. Can I use it? Can I use the data? See, one is to get the data and form the pattern. From the pattern, can you actually go ahead and even control it? And that is where you have the driverless cars, the drones, and then at one end you have robotic surgery. Okay? So on one hand you have data to analysis. From analysis you are actually using the data to control things. And once you do it, a complete loop is done. And depending on your interest, depending on the market, depending on what you want to do, depending on what kind of opportunities you get, you will be somewhere there. And what is interesting is all forms of human activity get covered under this. So that is the reason why these days we say every business is software business. Every business is IT. Okay. So everybody talks of digitization. Food companies talk of digitization. Government talks of digitization. Hospital talks of digitization. Simply because, and you already have seen this, right? Today, everybody uses computer. Who does not use computer? Every office, in fact, I still remember my interior design fellow once told me in 99, sir, you have done something very interesting. Every company wants what you want because every company wants computers, every company wants networking, every company wants routers. And you know, a Times of India fellow came back and told me, sir, Times of India office looks like a software house because you have human beings sitting on computers. There is no difference. I think that is what you saw in the last 30 years. The next 30 years, you will see the same thing happening to AI and ML. Okay? So let me kind of conclude with my last slide. The next slide, please. Okay. So this is what I want you to live with, thoughts with. You are damn lucky to be in this planet at this time. I wish I was 50 years younger and I could be sitting with you and starting to learn because it's going to be a great time. And it's also a great time to be in India. So honestly speaking, when we all went to United States 50 years back, the country was very nice to us. I will not have any complaint. At the same time, as India, as Indians, we were not respected. But today the whole world respects you. The whole world thinks you are a coder. The whole world thinks you are bright. The whole world thinks you are here to change. Look at what Indians are doing. The three of the iconic companies, IBM, Google, and Microsoft, the CEOs are all from India. More interesting for many of us because we have been teaching for the last 45 years. All of them had their education in this country. Sundar Pichai went to IIT Kharagpur. Sudhir Krishna went to IIT Kanpur. I know him as a student, so what a nice thing, right? And then Satya Nadella went to Manipal. I happen to be on the board. So it's so nice that educated in India, they are able to run iconic companies. So in that sense, that is the reason why we are respected so much. And you are all part of WIPS. I have been associated with WIPS from the day one. Amazing institution. Thanks to Dr. Vats and Sunit Vats. They're building it. And being part of WIPS, you must be just damn lucky. So all that I would say is, I've told you about amazing stories of startups. I want to tell more stories from WIPS. So do think of startup today. Don't wait for tomorrow. Okay? And do the country and WIPS proud. Okay? So all the best. As professors, we always take little more time than what we planned. I was supposed to take 12:15 to 12:35. Okay, so I'm reasonably okay. So 20 minutes. Thank you all. Thanks Birjay, Uday Birjay for giving me a great opportunity, and thank you Dr. Vats for this. I wish I could be present in time in person. So very soon I will make up for it. Thank you.
Sir, thank you,
Thanks,
sir.
Uday.
Thank you. Big applause, please.
Thank you, sir. Great role.
Sir, just wait online because they want to do a e-felicitation for you.
Oh, so kind of you.
I'm also seeing. So, but before they do the e-felicitation, I want to tell you, I share a personal rapport with Professor for almost 25 years. I remember I was sitting in the same podium when the first Bangalore Tech Forum happened 25 years back. And recently, just 2 weeks back, Professor was felicitated as the pioneer of Bangalore Tech Summit for completing 25 years in Bangalore's industry. So whatever Bangalore is Professor.
You have been so kind over that.
And I want to tell you, I think every word he spoke for the last 25 minutes, every time I say this, is like a jewel, is like a precious stone coming out of your mouth. So you need to just pick up those, store it in your brain. I remember about 15 years back when I was doing a presentation in his own institute, IIITB, I was doing what I thought was a great presentation. He came, I was doing a presentation on www, World Wide Web. He came quickly and said, World Wide Web, www actually stands for wireless will win. So I still remember that. I think, you see today, everything is wireless. Mobile phones, internet, social media, at home, everything revolves around wireless. Thank you, sir, for such a great inspiration.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I thank you, sir, on behalf of the WIPS family for encouraging the students with your experience and your inspiring words, with your inspiring personality. And yes, the WIPS students will have their name in your slide with their own startup in another 3 years. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would like to invite Honorable Founder and Chairman Sir, Dr. S.C. Vats Sir, to felicitate Professor S. Sadagopanji virtually. And I request Shri Uday Raghunath Birji ji to come up on stage to receive the memento on his behalf. Yes, Madhav Bisa ji also. Yes, sir, I invite you also.
Oh, nice, Vivekanand. So nice, sir. So what a nice Vivekanand ji. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Vatsa. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, once again for sparing your precious time and sharing your knowledge with us.
Your words still resonate. It's not IT, information technology, it's India tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
And we shall make it India tomorrow, sir. Your vision shall be materialized here. We'll show you virtually WIPs coming up at, as per your expectations, and we'll certainly come up. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
My sincere gratitude to you, sir.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, and thank you, Uday, and I'm logging off. Okay? Thank you, Uday.
Thank you, sir.
That's good. Thank you, ma'am.
Now, I would like to invite the next eminent guest for today, Shri Uday Raghunath Birji ji, co-founder of Think Street Technologies, who will be sharing his knowledge on entrepreneurship in the digital economy, developing the startup ecosystem for WIPS TC. He has over 30 years experience in IT, telecom, and network industry. He has wide experience in dealing with IPOs, mergers, and acquisition for Asia Pacific region. He is a mentor for change under the Atal Innovation Mission of Niti Aayog, Government of India, and has been involved with various other startup initiatives of government and private institutions across India. He is an alumnus of Harvard Business School, where he has completed his executive education with specialization in authentic leadership and corporate governance. He began his career in HCL, and in 2014, he set up Think Street Technologies, a startup to develop go-to-market strategies and startup ecosystems across the globe. We welcome you, sir, today, and it's a privilege to have you with us today. Thank you, sir.
Happy afternoon. Dr. S.C. Vats, Director General, Dean Dr. Goldie Gabrani, ma'am. I am really, I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. Since yesterday, Professor's speech just now, the warmth that I have received from the management, all of you, I think I'm really speechless. And usually that happens when I'm in the same forum with legends like Dr. Vats and Professor Sadgopan. I really become speechless. But anyway, I need to spend about 45 minutes here. So actually, I'm not, such great legends and leaders and academicians in front. I just want to tell you that I am nowhere close to any of them. I started my career about roughly, I would say almost 35 years back as a very simple marketing trainee in one of the first IT company, HCL, which became HCL Hewlett Packard later. And HCL, by the way, was a Delhi-based company. And that's where I started with. There was just about 100 people. Then it went on to become one of the top 3 global corporations. So what I'm going to do is, and after that, of course, my journey has been really, I would say, a blessing because of course, family and such great legends and my own people that I worked for and my friends and everybody else. So what I'm going to do is, I don't have such a great in-depth knowledge like Professor has. I'm going to just share my experiences in the last 30 years of my, I would say, global career. I've had the opportunity of almost visiting almost about 45 countries. And every time I visit each of the country, I study the culture, the technology, and everything that each country has to offer. So that is what I'm going to share. And also, I am a good storyteller. So I want to start today with a very, very inspiring story which I discovered just most recently because of some, I would say, some legacy that I share, and also today's the karma because of which I'm here in a great institution founded by a great man here. And that story really inspired me some time back, and that story also should inspire you because that teaches you something. Okay? So, can I have the... Also, in the meantime, I just want, I see some of the professors and teachers coming to you and say, keep quiet and everything. So I'll urge you to keep quiet. But I want to say I do these kind of talks in almost so many universities. It's the same. But it's for left to you to, pay attention. Don't worry about notes. I'm going to share the presentation through the faculty here, so don't worry about writing notes. Listen to some of the talks that I'm going to do based on the PPT that I have. How many of you can recognize, at least one person you'll recognize, right? Huh? Huh? Both. Who's the second person? Huh? There are two Jamshedji Tata and Jamshedji Tata. J.N. Tata, both were called as J.N. Tatas. So I just about, maybe sir will know this story. This is a story more than 100 years back. 1893. 1893, Jamshedji J.N. Tata was staying in a hotel in Tokyo. Okay? I think I don't know the exact month. I think March 6th or 3rd or something like that. March 6th, I guess. I don't know. Somewhere around that time. He was staying in a hotel in Tokyo. And then this great spiritual man, Swami Vivekananda walked into the same hotel. They met in the lobby or somewhere. And they started talking, and then whatever, they just parted. They didn't know what they were going to do. And then a few days later, in the port, they both met again in a steamer that was going to take off to Chicago. I don't know, again, I'm so poor in history in remembering the dates, but 1893 I remember. So J.N. Tata was going to Chicago he was a great man that time itself. I mean, known. J.N. Tata was going to attend a industrial exposition, like an exhibition of industries and whatever. So he was going to Chicago to attend that. And you know what Swami Vivekananda was going to Chicago for? No? Chicago, he was invited for the World Religious Forum to address the world religious leaders in Chicago. Again, I don't know the exact date, but that is what he was going for. But that is not so much about that incident. On the ship, it's a long journey, right? I mean, ship, it takes so many weeks possibly. So in the ship, they met again on the deck somewhere, and they started talking about India. And Jamshedji Tata and Vivekananda became very good friends. And Vivekananda is a lonely traveler. He traveled all around the country. He's seen the country, the colonial period, and then he was sharing with Tata, saying that how bad our country is, what kind of racism, what kind of colonialism period, what kind of suppression that we are going through. Jamshedji Tata was very sympathetic, and he said, Vivekananda also said, our science, research and education is suffering because of that. What a great country we have, what a great legacy we have, 5,000 years from the Varanasi days, known for great leaders, great scientists, whatever, and what is the state we are in today? That's what he shared with Jane Tata. And then also he said, Jane Tata was in Tokyo for some import of steel and such something trade. So Vivekananda told Jane Tata, you are going to Chicago to address to attend an industrial exposition. Why don't you start making steel in India? Okay, so that time 100 plus years back, Atmanirbharata was running in Vivekananda. Okay, today we are talking about that. So again, the story is not about that. So then they started talking. So Jane Tata ji told Vivekananda ji, saying that, why don't you start a research institute in India? I'm going to be back, so why don't you start a research institute in India? He said it's a good idea, and then both of them came back, and Jamshedji Tata gave 50,000 rupees from his personal whatever income, and said that go and start this research institute. Okay, research institute which will do research in science and so many great things that India was actually good at. But unfortunately, I think 1902, maybe 10 years, roughly 10 years, Jane Tata passed away, but Vivekananda was still there. He asked Sister Nivedita, saying that we need to do this research institute. Tata has given this money and we need to start. And money is not good enough. Where do we find the space? We need land for such a big institute for a visionary like Vivekananda and Jane Tata. Then what happened? And Vivekananda and Mysore Maharaja were great friends. Okay? And the Mysore Maharaja family got to know about this. And this is what happened. So, you see, Jane Tata wrote a letter to Vivekananda, which led to the formation of two great institutions, TISCO, Tata Steel, and Indian Institute of Science. The foundation, everything happened because of that meeting on the ship and meeting in that hotel. This is the power of networking, which I will talk about in in some of my slides. And then Mysore Maharaja, he was ruling almost 1/3 of South India. Bangalore was that time part of Mysore. So Mysore Maharaja, the family, they had 400 acres of land in Bangalore, which is what IISc is. He said, this is a great thought. They donated 400 acres to the Tata Foundation or whatever, and then IISc took off. Have you heard anything like this? And also Mysore Maharaja was the first chancellor of Banaras Hindu University. These are the legends that we need to get inspired from. What better place than a Vivekananda VIPS for you to get inspired? Professor talked about it. Dr. Watts talked about it. I think this is a temple of knowledge. Every college is a temple of knowledge. But I would say this is like the Tirupati of knowledge, or whatever the greatest of religious place that I would say. For me, I'm really honored to be here, sir. Thank you for allowing me to share this. I think this is something which I discovered I knew that Tata formed IISc, but I didn't know the inner story so deep. And how the connection happened. It is a divine connection happened which on the ship for a cause that they went to Chicago. Okay? Thank you. And so now so the next, okay. Why is it going behind? So, how many of you watch IPL? Almost everybody. So, I went for the first IPL, first ever IPL. I think I don't remember 90. When was? Anybody knows first IPL what happened? 2000. So my father was the vice president of the HL Sports Club. So I was especially invited to go and watch IPL because KS had a membership. So we went there, and this Bangalore Royal Challengers versus Knight Riders. And who was heading Knight Riders? Shah Rukh Khan. So Royal Challengers, I think it was Royal, whichever, I think, yeah. So my daughters, very young that time, they said, I have to come. They didn't, then I was curious, why they want to come to IPL? I mean, they're so small. So then I got to know from my wife, mother, that they wanted to see Shah Rukh Khan, not the cricket. So, and unfortunately, there are two pavilions in the KSCA stadium, and Shah Rukh Khan and company won the. Yeah, so we were sitting in this side of the pavilion, and believe me, two tragedies happened. Bangalore lost badly. Okay, so I don't cry or anything. My daughter started crying. Then actually came to see Shah Rukh Khan so far away, even through binoculars they couldn't see. They started crying again. So we exited the stadium, maybe half an hour before, and came back. So the point I'm trying to say here is, every IPL match, have you seen the number of advertisements? So you need to go through this advertisement from me. I think you know that I'm a Bangalorean. Professor Sir is a Bangalorean. So you know that what does brand Bangalore stand for? The very fact that you talk to anybody you meet anybody in the flight or any hardcore Bangalorean will always say, I'm proud, Namma Bengaluru. Kannada means my Bangalore. Is so proud about that. So many good things that Bangalore brings to the country. And my dream is to have multiple Bangalores across the country. And it is possible. I go to Hyderabad, I go to Pune, I go to some of the progressive and easily, flexible cities which can become the Bangalores. Okay? IT capital. Do we need a bigger list? Actually, I missed out one more list. Dr. Vats will also possibly watch for that. Bangalore is actually the healthcare capital of India also. Some of the best medical colleges, hospitals, they're all in there. And healthcare is converting to completely IT-based, AI-based today. Anybody disputes this? I know out of this 300, 200 will start thinking, when will I start living in Bangalore? Because biggest opportunities, 60% of startups are in Bangalore. 60% of unicorns today are in Bangalore. All the deep tech. Why? Bisaji is in Bangalore. I pulled him from Bangalore. So he is doing AI research in Bangalore. So why don't you catch him and make him do research here? Okay, there is something about Bangalore which helps this ecosystem of deep technologies grow. So use that. I think I'm here to share those experiences, what makes Bangalore tick, but in the process, what is the technology that we are talking about, okay? So this is, how many of you were there yesterday, last 2 sessions? How many? 2 sessions? Raise your hand so that I know. I'm not going to have any duplicate slides, but few slides, but not many, I think, So many of them today. Okay, a lot of them, I think nearly 60% are new, more than 60%. So this is my opening slide in almost every presentation that I do. Even if I'm doing a presentation for 10 people, I always say this. Or I am sitting across the table, mentoring one person, I say that this is what it is. It is simple to understand. Vision without action is a merely dream. You keep doing PPTs, you keep writing thesis on your vision. If you don't put that action, you don't give wings to that vision, or you don't put wheels to that vision, it just remains a dream. Your life will get over, and then somebody has said, he is a great visionary, kuch action nahi kiya. Okay? So here's a great example. Vision, and he's converted his dream into a fantastic knowledge hub here. Professor Dr. Vats. So that is what it means. So action without vision. So at the same time, action without vision. If you're doing a startup, first thing you need to do is put a vision. Then comes the business plan and execution plan, which is the action plan. Without vision, action without vision is just passing time. It is just a waste of time. You may be successful for a few steps, but you cannot go further. You have to have both. But when you have both, which meets the relevant time or the relevant technology or whatever, you can change the world. Believe me, you can change the world. I don't think anybody else to talk better than Professor Sadgopan. He said, right, how much of inspiration he gave you. Move forward, right? You have a 3-year or 3.5-year windows. Most of you, maybe some of you 3 years, some of you 3.5, right? So this is, I have put together an agenda, but this is some of the topics that I'll be covering, but all of them, why you're not able to hear? Oh, okay. Okay. So, can you hear at the back, or you're having a problem? Huh? Here? Okay. So I'm using this mic so that everybody hears. So I'm using these as a pointers to some of the topics that I'm going to cover, but we don't have the time to go each of these topics. Each of these topics are a session by itself. Okay, so I'm going to go through, give you an overview, or maybe share some buzzwords so that you can do some more research, or maybe attend some of my online classes when I do for other institutions or whatever, when you connect on LinkedIn. Knowledge and experience, two important aspects in your journey. First as a student, and then when you chart out your career or you're in your life itself. What do you get here? In this great institution, what do you get here? Knowledge. You get experience? Don't be under the impression it's only knowledge. You also get experience when your professors ask you to do some assignments or some projects, some of your projects, hardware projects, software projects. That is the experience that you go through. I would say, don't neglect that part. It is not good enough to be a master of all the books that you read. You need to go through make the best use of the experience that you have, or even the experienced people when they are speaking, like Professor spoke, Dr. was, me, Madhavji is going to speak. We are all experienced. We cannot teach you experience, but at least you can absorb some of it, right? It's important. So look at the difference here. Can you see this difference? I know some of you who attended yesterday are shaking their hands. What about people who didn't attend? Okay, let me come this side. So do you see the difference between knowledge and experience? What happens? What is happening in the experience chart here? Connecting the dots. You can imagine that like each of the dots is like your different subjects, AI, ML, robotics, maybe statistics, whatever, right? With some experience, you can connect all the dots and bring out something meaningful. Let me give you a statement, which I am, again, repetition of yesterday. I'm not negating the importance of college studies or your degree or your academics. Experience can get you to places where a degree cannot. So many examples Professor gave, right? Mark Zuckerberg, did they complete their degree? Please, none of you should drop out. He said the 4th level is a dropout degree. No, there is no such dropout degree here in India. It's worthless. Right? So don't get into the dropout mode. So experience gets you into places where a degree cannot. Remember this, which means that's the importance of experience. Whether somebody experiences sharing some thoughts with you, sharing some experiences with you, or you yourself are invited to share some, do some projects or go through some kind of an experiential learning, go through that with full discipline. Okay? Big difference. Knowledge anybody can teach. I'm not saying, with due respects to all the professors, anybody can teach. But nobody can teach experience. You have to go through it yourself. Very important for you to understand the difference between knowledge and experience. What I'm trying to say is, don't get into this rat race of CGPAs and 90% and 99% and distinction. It's important. All that is important. Okay? But experience is ultimately, I'm just a normal degree holder. Only in the end of my career I went to Harvard. Midway in my career, people used to ask me, believe me, I'm not exaggerating. Some leaders, senior to me, you were asking me, sir, are you an MBA from IIM? I didn't even know where IIM is in Bangalore. Because it was something that was driving me, my passion was driving me. That's the image that I possibly was projecting like a manager or a leader, and people used to ask me. So that comes from experience. Not that I am born with some silver spoon or whatever. Okay? Transformation. This whole conclave is all about transformation. Yesterday I asked some questions. How many of you think that India and all of us here, human beings or life is going through a big transformation? How many of you believe? I want today's people who are fresh today to raise their hands or say, no, we are not transforming. I am in the same good old mode. Transforming? Yes. How we are transforming and why we are transforming, let's see that. Can you just observe this? Huh? There's no sound in this. Observe this. Play the video, please. Yeah, play that. Just observe this video. From where we are getting to where. This used to be my desk about 20 years back. Every junk on the table was on my, every junk in the thing was on my table. Books to laptop to, everything. See how it is transforming. Could you see this? What happened here? Everything disappeared. Yesterday, I had the honor of visiting Vinij's office. It looked something like this. Very clean. Lord Krishna's photo, just a laptop, some coffee coasters and a few things. This is what today we are. But we have come from a world where I used to have a notice board. My secretary used to put tomorrow's, appointments. And I am a very spiritual person, so I have a small Ganesha on my table, Sai Baba on my table. I don't need that today. It's there either on my Facebook or on my screensaver of my laptop or on my mobile phone. And some of the youngsters, they used to have their, girlfriend, boyfriend's pictures somewhere, here and there. They don't need all that today, right? Everything is, what has happened? I think, okay, anyway, so this has got converted to, everything has converted to, what is it, has it got converted to? Digital what? You saw the things coming into the laptop, right? All those things just coming into I think I can play it again. Oh, okay, we'll see that. Yeah, play this. You see what's happening? It's all converting into apps. Your notice board is like a Instagram, or your roller desk where you put your visiting cards, that is like the LinkedIn. Same, everything. I worked in one of the most, Professor talked about, my last formal job was Hewlett Packard. In a small BlackBerry, I used to clear purchase orders of billions of dollars. Small BlackBerry just in my pocket. So when I was traveling somewhere in the Oberoi hotel, wherever, my secretary will say, sir, this for 100 BSAT, some 3 crore purchase orders pending, can you clear it? Done through BlackBerry. Simple, and it, of course, all secure. So that is what life has changed, transformed already. This is what my office should be. You saw the transformation further? Did we, any of us, think how the office desk will transform to that junk kind of all books and notice board and everything to a clean, just a laptop and a mobile phone? Did we think it would happen in 20 years? I never thought. I am a number one first generation technology person. Early days from Shivnada time. Younger than him, of course, much younger. I never thought that life would be so simple. I used to till 10 years back, I used to say, my life, when I travel so much, I used to say my life runs on laptop and credit card. With laptop, I can do anything. Credit card, I can check into any hotel, buy any ticket, travel wherever I want. Right? These two things. Today, do I need a credit card? No. Do I need a laptop? No. I just need one smartphone. That's it. Future, you may not even need that. You know what is this scene? Actually, I love these glasses. And I love the color. I have the same type of glasses too. AI is going to take over your entire desk. There will not even be a mobile phone. Through hand gesture, there will be some kind of a gateway device somewhere. Hand gestures or whatever, you will run your office. This is how your actual desk will be. I love this. I love the color of the glasses. I am a little bit fashionable, so I like these kind of glasses. This is how your desk will look like 20 years from now. Madhavji will vouch for it. AI is going to take over everything. So we saw 20 years how transformation happened from a junk office to one laptop and smartphone. Future, we will not even need that. Somewhere smartphone will be lying somewhere. It's not that maybe some kind of a device will be lying in your bag or somewhere or maybe you can leave it in a car also. This is the transformation that we are going through. And this is the transformation that you are going to make it happen, not us. You're already nearing, the late 50s. You are the younger generation. You are, I told people, you are like my younger daughter, maybe 2 years younger than my younger daughter. So I give the same lecture, though she's studying law, I give the same type of lectures to her. And my elder one also. I do this great presentation. I go back home on Saturday. I get a lecture because they know some technology stuff better than us. Means technology stuff better than us. Some practical stuff. Evening, something comes up and say, Papa, you're outdated. This is what the younger generation is. You cannot help it. You people are far ahead. Your minds are running at 200 kmph. Maybe directionless or in maybe without focus. That's where we are there, to bring that focus, bring the direction for you. Okay, so I think you already saw that. So this is another slide, how the transformation is happening. It sort of overlaps with the past slide. Past and future. Today, you saw during the COVID period, we didn't need a formal office. But still, there are many reasons why need a formal office, formal campus, formal classroom. Many reasons. But we proved to the world that we can live without a proper office. But the reasons why we want to come back to campus, come back to office is different. Right? So there are so many lists of, I would say, past and future, work from corporate office. Today, I'll tell you, youngsters today, they don't want to be locked down to one. Many offices in Bangalore are cutting down space. They're not zero. They're not making it zero. They're making it flexible. They sit in a park. This guy, Uber, I shared a story about Travis Kalanick, the founder of Uber. I didn't complete the story, but he did. When he was founding Uber, which was the most highest valued startup that time. They innovated this whole aggregation, right? Uber aggregation. Then only Ola came. And there are so many others now. But Uber started this whole thing, and he solved a problem. So he was telling us that youngster, he was possibly maybe a couple of years older than you that time when he started Uber, again from some university. So he used to come with his bunch of software engineers to Kerala and Trivandrum, sit on the beach and code, do coding. That's the youngster, young mind thinking. They want to be flexible. They want to be inspired by nature. They want to be inspired by different things. So that is the way the transformation is happening. So you have to adapt and make it relevant for you. Innovation. Anybody can give one I will ask one person, not the persons who attended yesterday. What is innovation? Remember, there's a difference between innovation and invention. I want most confident person. Can you stand up and say what is innovation? I know somebody raised half hand. Who's that? Yes. Thinking out of the box. So if I think out of the box, I've innovated.
Kind of, but not exactly. Thinking out of the box and making it.
So thinking out of the box is a process. It's a process of innovation. So I think, if I get into, anybody else? One more person wants to answer? Huh? What is innovation? Anybody else? Or everybody got scared by this first answer? You are not wrong, by the way. Thinking out of the box is a process. Okay, so no problem. I think, let me come to a formal definition. Innovation is the process and outcome of creating something new which is of value. If I make a fantastic camera which can take some beautiful, highest of HD kind of pictures, but it is so expensive that I have to keep it in a museum, I cannot use it. Is it of any use, that innovation? No, right? If the camera that was invented, they were not put in your most expensive mobile phones, what use it is, right? So innovation has to be, any innovation has to be of value. Create something new that has to be of value. Think about it. That's why I said you should always do something to solve a problem. Cameras were very expensive. I remember I am a wildlife photographer from my childhood. And I had this passion, but I was not rich enough to buy expensive cameras. Even today I am not rich enough, but I rent them. But today's mobile phones are better than some of those expensive cameras that were there 5 years back. OnePlus can take some fantastic pictures. I have, in fact, leopards and tigers just taken on mobile phones. So somebody innovated a camera that can be put into a small device like a mobile phone. Great innovation, right? That is of value. So innovation is not just a product. It can be a process innovation. It can be so many things that you can do. You can do innovation in HR. You can do innovation in marketing. So many things. It's not that only you have to create something which can be seen or whatever. It can be in a process. It can be innovation in supply chain. Innovation, for example, let's say you're manufacturing a product, you find a new source of material from some other country, you're innovating because somebody else doesn't know that. And by bringing that material from some other country, you innovated the entire supply chain and brought the product cost down. That's innovation. It need not be some great robot or an AI-based product or whatever. Innovation, for me, innovation is like a daily mechanism. I always think, how do I innovate on something that I'm doing today? Something new, create something new, some process new. That's innovation. So innovation has to get into your mindset. In the morning when you get up, you must think, what is it that I can do new today that will make me happy at the end of the day? That I have done something new. You did not create a robot. You wake up in the morning, say, in the evening, I'm not expecting a robot out of you. Maybe some small thing that you created which can make a bigger impact in the longer term. That's what, when I say innovation has to be in your mindset on a daily basis. That's how all these great guys like Steve Jobs or Travis Kalanick or so many Apple guys or whatever, that's what they did. It's not that suddenly they woke up and one iPhone came out of their factory or whatever. These are the guys, super intelligent guys who think innovation on a daily basis. If you want to do something like that, you have to discipline your thinking. And how does it come? Read books, listen to your professors, meet legends, meet experienced people. You will get into that mode. So I'll skip this because I've already spoken about. So the impact of innovation. How many of you know a company called Nokia? Nokia kuch nahi kiya. Almost they are end of their life. They are multiple times they were trying to be reborn again, but they are not successful. And you know why? Why? Adapt to market. Why? They were not innovating enough. So the innovation is not only about startups or personal innovation or in your mindset or whatever. Large companies, if they don't innovate, they will die. So many Indian companies. You know a company called Kodak? I'm a photographer, so I know. Kodak used to have number one, 80 to 90% market share in those films. Sony came with some digital cameras, Kodak died. So innovation is a must for survival today. So this is what happened to Nokia. See, June 2007, they were $104 billion. You know how much is 1 billion? 1 billion? Huh? How much? 1,000 crores. Come on. Huh? So 8,000 crores. Today's 80 rupees per dollar is, I think, roughly 80 rupees. 8,000 crores. So their valuation was 104 billion, June 2007. And Apple also, June 2007, was 110 billion. They were same 15 years back. Same. They were, each one of them were fighting for number 1, number 2 position. And today, this is about 2 years old. Apple is 2.1 trillion. Trillion. How many billions is 1 trillion? 1,000 billion is 1 trillion. And just morning I was quickly glancing through Twitter updates. They are in the 2.6 trillion. And you know how much is India's GDP? 3 point something trillion. So they are almost like, India's GDP, one company. Single reason is innovation. Single reason. And look at Bichara Nokia. I really feel sad for them because my first phone was Nokia. Fantastic phone. That time I used to love that phone. But I can't even think if I buy a Nokia, people will laugh at me. I think they are available, right? Even if they have great features of an Apple, nobody will buy them because they lost it. Correct? And by the way, I worked for Nokia also, like in a way, I did a startup, Silicon Valley-based startup, which was acquired by Alcatel-Lucent. I was part of the whole process. That's why I'm sort of passionate about IPOs and acquisitions. So that Alcatel-Lucent division which acquired us got merged by Nokia. So I had, in my LinkedIn profile, I had put Alcatel-Lucent as my experience. One day I saw it's already become Nokia because they automatically LinkedIn, whichever the company it gets acquired, the update also happens. So I really feel sad for Nokia, and it was run by an Indian company, Indian CEO till recently, Rajiv Surya, somebody, right? So 130. So growth opportunities in India. So I just want to quickly, I think, glance through some buzzwords like digital economy. How many of you heard these 3-4 buzzwords? Digital economy, shared economy, gig economy, experience economy. You heard? Which one you have not heard? Gig economy. Gig economy is all about you. You people. You need to remember one thing, whether each of these economies, these are buzzwords, I'll quickly give you a view of this. We don't have much time. I don't want to eat into Madhav's time post-lunch. See, we are all 50 plus. Some of the seniors here are 60 plus. And with your permission, sir, you said 70 plus. Such an inspiration for 70 plus. So we are not the market today. When you are building a product, you are building for Dr. Vats or Madhav or Uday Birja. I think Madhav is 40s. 40s. Early 40s. Madhav is still. So you are not building a product for us. Let me tell you this. Whom are you building the product for? You are the people. Today, 65% is you. So if you don't know the product that you're going to build for yourself, who knows the product better? You or us? Correct? We can only enable, but you know what you like. Facebook is most popular among us, the youth. Who innovated that? Somebody of your age group only, correct? That's how it is. Same Travis Kalanick. We are all old men who want to drive our own cars, Mercedes, Maruti or whatever. But Travis Kalanick, he didn't want to own a car. He wanted to, have flexibility of just going anywhere without parking, whatever, enjoying, go to any country through an app, book. So he innovated Uber app. So remember all these. You are going to build products for yourself more. Sometimes when certain days, my wife also works in a school. She is very emotionally stressful job. She's a student counselor. She counsels people like you and your parents. So, it's stressful. So sometimes she says, I cannot prepare dinner. Those days I really dread. Because mobile phones are in the hands of the daughters. They will order some vague, weird dishes from Zomato, which I don't even like. Right? So they are looking at their taste. Of course, I'm just being exaggerating, but for them, their taste comes first. Then they will think about us. You like biryani? Okay, I'll order. But they would have ordered some fancy pizza and some, I don't know, whatever. So this is the generation moving ahead. So you need to remember you are innovating for yourself, not for us. So what is shared economy? I think all these names that I took, Uber, Zomato, Ola, Flipkart, they are all part of the shared economy. And I will give you more examples of what shared economy is. Almost everything can be shared today. Everything. Everything means everything, except human beings, possibly. You've seen this chart? This is the way the economy or the business is transforming. Uber doesn't own a single car. Okay? Doesn't own a single car. But they are the highest valued company. Same with Flipkart. They don't own anything. You people, supply to them and they bring it on the platform. Amazon, everybody. And there are so many such platforms available to sell everything. Facebook, you people have made him rich because you are uploading your photos. Because of that, you visit Facebook. Because of that, they are able to advertise so many products. Because of that, they get revenue. Correct? So I don't even see Mark Zuckerberg's picture on the Facebook. It's not, I think, somewhere in the corner on the board or CEO column, it will be there. But otherwise, it's your pictures. You are driving that economy. You are driving the business for Facebook. Same with Instagram and everything. Alibaba, everybody. Netflix. Have you heard any movie produced by Netflix? They may have, but some web series or whatever. But generally, Kantara is a craze today. Bahubali is a craze today. So many movies. So these, because the producers of Kantara or whatever are putting the movies on the Netflix platform and they're making money. Netflix is getting a commission out of it. Correct? Okay. So what all can be shared? Everything. We've seen cars, we've seen Flipkart kind of companies, we've seen cameras. I told you, the kind of wildlife trips that I do, almost about 2 miles away there will be a tiger. So if I have to shoot that, I need a huge lens which will cost some 5-10 lakhs. I can't afford that. So I rent it from a couple of lens companies, and that too that I don't have to go to their office and collect the lens. I just book on the app. It will be delivered either at the forest or it will come to my home. Expensive lenses. All goes by trust. Okay? So experience economy. Has anybody heard of experience economy? Huh? Experience. Shall I give you an example? Huh? How many of you go to barista? How many of you? Or how many of you go to the dhaba wala chai and coffee? How many of you go? I also go. I want to raise my hands. I only go there. Because I love the 10 rupees chai more than, right? But whether you can afford or not, how many of you go to Starbucks? Starbucks. Come on, it cannot be just one hand. I also go to Starbucks. Huh? Starbucks. So many people. I'm sure many people will go, but you're on video, your parents will be watching whether this fellow is going to Starbucks spending 200 rupees on coffee. 10 rupees is available, dhaba. So don't worry. So everybody wants to go to Starbucks. Everybody wants to go to barista because that is an experience. Youngsters want that experience because you go to Starbucks, sometimes you have good music playing, you have some books. Small libraries they have, magazines they have Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi, environment is beautiful, right? You can peacefully do some work. That's experience. Today youngsters want that experience. When, COVID time, end of COVID, my elder daughter was working from home, suddenly some power problem in the building, full day no power. I said, okay, come to my office, come to my friend's place, there is enough power in the bedroom or somewhere you can sit. And no, she said, no, Papa, I'm going to Starbucks and I'll work there. Boss, this is reality. This is not a dream. This is reality. The youngsters, you people are thinking on those lines. Okay? So there are some examples. My passionate wildlife. This is how wildlife trips used to be. Why wildlife? Generally, resorts. Right? You go to Jim Corbett, or you go to Bandhavgarh, or you go to Kabini, Bandipur. So many keep visiting. You go stay in a beautiful resort which was built by some Maharajas before, or built by the government or whatever. You go check in, maybe online checking, and you go then stay there. This is one type of an old-fashioned experience that I still love that. I still love this. But my friend has a startup. This is what it is. New experience. Lux Camper. You go to their website, fantastic. They have tied up with Government of Karnataka, they tied up with Government of Kerala. You drive your own car, like, in the US, the caravan types. You cannot just get into a forest with your own car, you know that. It has to go through these licensed vehicles. So you have to tie up. So this is a new experience. And it doesn't cost too much as compared to the old-fashioned type of resort experience. Very little technology. So don't be under the impression every startup needs AI or whatever. There is enough startups, there is enough projects which really don't need too much of technology. Coffee day is not technology, right? Or Starbucks experience is not technology. This is not much about technology. They just have one app. You book on the app. These days, I want to go to Bandhavgarh. They will send the jeep. Either you can you mean the bus. You see that bus? 4 people with everything, kitchen and everything, toilet, bed, everything inside the bus. Either you can drive it yourself. The driver will come and leave it at your house. You drive it yourself, or it will come with a driver. This is experience economy. People want this. Would you love to do this or the old-fashioned one? Huh? This one, right? Even older people like me want to do this. I would love to take this four-seater caravan, take my family, love, and park it in a forest. Of course, designated place. You cannot randomly park somewhere. Right? So this is all experience economy. So this is what are the factors driving experience economy? I told you multiple times. It is you people. And you see the age category. Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z. So people in the 80s to 2000s or the millennials. So I leave this slide, but you know it very well. The age group of, let's say 15 to 40 is the age group. That is a prime market for you. For all these things that I told about. Okay? Digital economy, I think I'll move forward. I'll leave all these slides. Startup. What is a startup? So much of talk about startup. Everybody is talking about startup. Do you know there's a difference between a startup and entrepreneur? Huh? Not the yesterday people. I think select of you don't talk. I already gave a definition. There's bigger, 60% of the people didn't come yesterday. How many of you know? Is there a difference, startup and entrepreneurship? Huh? A startup can be an entrepreneur, but entrepreneur need not be a startup. So many examples we gave. They're all startup examples. Uber, Ola, they're all startup examples. Because a startup is solving a problem. It's not about money so much. While solving the problem, they are making money. Whereas an entrepreneur, the sole objective is to make money. You set up a furniture shop in Connaught Place. It is not a startup. It is an entrepreneurial venture. You may be generating more than a startup, but it's an entrepreneur. Know the difference very clearly. If your father is running let's say, a stationery distribution shop, and he's encouraging you to take over his entrepreneurial venture, it's left to you. Or you can do some innovation, make an app around that and distribute it online, like Jeff Bezos did, books. So you see what value addition you can do beyond what is the legacy that you are going to carry. So clear difference. I have some examples of entrepreneur and startup. How many of you? These are all great entrepreneurs. Okay? Startup is about innovation. It's about disruption. Means you're disrupting the normal way of doing things. Till about 8 years, 7, 8, I am the first users of Uber. We used to have 2 cars, 2 drivers, one for me and one for my family. After Uber came, both of them, we politely told them, boss, we cannot really afford, and neither we can really go by their whims and fancies of the drivers. One day suddenly he doesn't come, we are in bad shape, especially my family. They don't know how to go. Auto rickshaws are notorious. Taxis are not available. Today, in fact, my daughter, she used to work in Deloitte. She used to drive all the way, now she works for a startup. So when she was working in Deloitte, 1.5 hour drive from my house to Whitefield in Bangalore, we used to tell her, Why don't you buy a car and drive yourself? Comfortable, AC, you can listen to music. You know what she says? Papa, who will own this car? I have to take it to diesel, fill up diesel. I have to fill up petrol. I have to renew license. I have to, renew insurance. Headache. I'll go by Uber. Younger generation thinking that way. They don't want to have any assets. In fact, there are many people I know, they don't even want to own a house. They want to have the flexibility of just renting and moving around wherever they want. That's the new trend. It's going to happen. Don't be under the impression some major tsunami will come and that trend will go away. No. Trend will be beyond that. More technology will come into that. Okay? So here's one simple innovation I want to show you. Simple. Which is from Karnataka. And we encouraged him through government of Karnataka. Okay? This is what you need to do. Get this innovative mindset, observe what problem you can solve today. When you're going back home, you see somebody is going through some difficult problem, see if you can solve that and see if you can commercialize it. This is what this person did. He's an engineer, used to work in a company, he used to be close to the farmlands, and then he solved this problem. And I'll tell you what the problem actually was.
ಜಾಕೆಟ್ ಲಕ್ಕದಾದೇವು
ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಈ ಒಂದು ಇದು ಬಿಡಿ ಬಿಡಿ ಕೆಳಬಿಡಿ ಕೆಳಬಿಡಿ ಅದರ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ ಈಗ ಅದರ ನೆಗೆಗೊಳ್ಳಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಇನ್ನು ಬೇಕು ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು.
You think this is nice? What is he solving? You know what is this? It's an arecanut tree. You know supari? Supari. Arecanut tree, it's very big in south. Basically, of course, supari you can have it, you do it here for pujas, for eating. You know, we all eat. You know, go to a 5-star also, they'll have an after mint supari based. It's big in south, especially in the Mangalore and Kerala region. These supari trees are very big. And to harvest supari arecanut, one human being can harvest maximum 8 to 10 in a day. Because they have to climb up, cut it, and then bring it down. And so risky, right? They have to go up, using some whatever, they tie their legs and then go up and so risky. And and today labor is not even available. 8 to 10 is the maximum. That much energy one human being has to harvest 8 to 10 trees. This person was observing every day how difficult. I think his family had arecanut farms. So he was working in some engineering company. He bought one small engine with some, assembly, just created this assembly. With the same machine, one person can, in a day, in a normal 100 trees can be harvested. 10 times efficiency. Imagine what problem he has solved. Simple, right? We don't have to do some major robot. Think about some simple problems that you can solve. That's all. Okay, I think... Ma'am, I think I'll finish in 5 minutes. Yeah. So all these, I'll leave the slides. I can go on and on forever, but I don't want to, make it too much. But there are a couple of videos. This, we were chatting with Dr. Vats in the morning. I think today, robots are driving humans. Software robots, hardware robots, right? Robots are becoming more intelligent. Do you agree? We are wasting time and robots are becoming, one day, we don't know what will happen. What the levels, robot, I'll show you some video. Amazing what is going on. So you see robots are really becoming intelligent. They're reading And we are spending time on Facebook and Instagram. Mark Zuckerberg is getting rich, but correct? So some India related, I think if India has to grow, if New India really has to become many people said we are a developed country. I love that because we must think that we are a developed country. But at the same time, be grounded. We have a long journey to go still. See, these are some real innovations I have been part of through DRDO and all. Very simple examples. See, this is a snake robot. You know, you think this product, where do you think it can be used? This product this was a prototype developed by DRDO. How do you like this? Developed by youngsters like you, with the guidance of some mentors from defense organization. This is a fantastic product, simple. It has sensors. You know, when there are bombs hidden in certain small places, you can't put your hand, or human beings cannot go, or even those, whatever those tools they'll have limitations. They will let these snake robots go and sniff, and it will have all kinds of sensors to find out where the bombs are. Right? Fantastic innovation. India, out of India. One more. This is a autonomous tank, a prototype of a tank. And warfare is going to be autonomous. There will not be soldiers in the front end. Let me tell you this. My entire family is army. I know that. So wars will be fought through autonomous routes. Everything will be drones and no human intervention. It will be either through satellites or mobile devices, all remotely managed. See this? This is an autonomous tank. Again, with the guidance of DRDO. Developed by some of the institutions. This is a slightly older video, but this just gives you a picture what we can do. I'm just giving you one or two feel of what is possible. And all this requires AI, ML, everything. Okay, I think there's one more video. So we talked about robotics, Boston Dynamics. If you people are either on LinkedIn or Twitter or whatever, follow this great company, Boston Dynamics. I had the opportunity of visiting them in US some time back. They're just amazing set of engineers. Amazing. Very focused on what they're doing. What is the best application of artificial intelligence? What can you think of? The ultimate. Robots are nothing but artificial intelligence into them. AI. Right? Look at this. Did we ever think of this? What is it? It's not coming? Videos playing? Sit down. Yeah. So, think of the possibilities today. We heard of one robot, great difficulty, so many. What a innovation. You need better inspiration. This is all developed by normal people like us. Why can't you do it? I think that is what Professor said. There is no end to how much of innovation you can do. There are people like us, Dr. Vas, the entire industry is behind you to support you. Think, okay, get into that innovative mindset. We had only seen one robot doing all kinds of gymnastics or whatever. Two of them synchronously together. How difficult it is, right? Yeah, so, over? Oh, okay. So I just want to complete. Okay, so I'm going to leave a few slides and then come to the, I think, I will skip all this, come to the couple of quotes, okay? See this, this is a fantastic quote. Business needs to go beyond the interest of their companies to the communities they serve. I gave a definition of leadership. Leadership is not about your great title or your salary or money or anything. It's about what your alignment with the society, your responsibility to the society. Okay? Some books to read. As I said, I always share some books to read. Beyond what the great textbooks and the whatever journals that you read, ensure that you buy at least one book per semester and read it at your leisure. But don't forget, every day you can do 1 or 2 pages or 3, 4 pages, complete it in one semester. Last slide, my favorite slide. I didn't put this slide for this. This is always there in all my decks. Anything is possible. And Vivekananda has said this, it is possible. Don't stop until you achieve your vision. Back up your vision with an action. Thank you very much, and I think, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an interactive session, for linking the present with the past, to encourage us to take the inspiration from the legends and to believe in the power of network, as the network is our net worth. For making us realize that innovation distinguishes a leader and a follower, for encouraging us to make us realize the importance of demographic dividend, for sharing us the real life examples to encourage us in solving the grassroots problems, and for also suggesting the various books that we should read per semester that will help to improve our personality. Thank you so much, sir, for such an interactive session. Thank you, sir. We will, I think, all proceed for the lunch, and then but before that, we have with us Mr. Ashish Khare ji. He is the founder and CEO, MentorCart. So we would like to felicitate Ashish Khare ji, and for this, I would like to invite the Director General, Mr. Ashwini Kumar Sharma, sir. Dr. Ashwini Kumar Sharma, sir, Director General, WIPS TC, for the felicitation of Mr. Ashish Khare ji. He is the former Director General Dr. Ashwini Kumar Sharma, sir, is the former Director General, National Institute of Electronics and Information Technology, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. He has also served as the Vice Chancellor at Symbiosis Skills and Professional University, Pune. Thank you, sir, for the felicitation of Mr. Ashish Khare ji, the founder and CEO of MentorCart. And now I would like to call upon the Chairman Sir to present the memento to Shri Ashish Khade ji. Can we have a standing round of applause for all the guests?